welcome to the Euro podcast. This will be
Hello
the last
there.
one. We're here to react to England's loss on penalties. With me is Dave Cass, Martin King and Gary Harris. How are you all?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, all good.
Okay, so there's lots to talk about. Penalties is always a lottery. As ever, I'll come to you first, Martin. What was your highlights and your views on the game overall?
Overall, I think first half, absolutely brilliant. Couldn't ask for more. Everyone put in the shift. Second half, we lost our way. We let the Italians build up a bit of steam. As soon as they got that goal, you knew they smelt blood. They were after us. In every department, they bombed forward. Cellini and Bonetti, what his fucking name is at the back. He was, they're old. And yet we never utilised Sterling's speed. You know, the ball over the top for the chase. I mean, they know how to play. They know how to defend. They didn't leave that space between Donnarumma, their keeper, and the back two centre-halves. So they're just so clever at defending, and they just bomb on, and they're so skillful. And you knew in the second half, when we was all disjointed in the second half. But overall, I was proud of the team. The fans were brilliant, as they have been all the tournament. To get to the final is an achievement. I think, again, everyone's moaning today about bringing on the young lads to take the penalties, which I totally agree. We'll come to that later. But overall, I thought, we could be proud of the team. But Italy are a different breed, different pedigree to us. They're so skillful. And they smell of blood. They go for it, mate. So overall, I was pleased. Second half, extra time. We lifted our game a bit. But overall, I thought we done really well. Should be proud of the team.
Yeah, I think so too. I'll come to you, Gary.
Yeah.
I noticed a Facebook post that you put on about Southgate. So what were your highlights about yesterday's match, if there was any for you?
I thought after 15 minutes, Italy pretty much controlled the game, really. I mean, first 15 minutes, it looked what it was. We got the goal within 2 minutes. I thought Shaw took that really well, by the way. Took that goal really well. I think 15 minutes in, I think Martin's right. They put a shift in, unfortunately. I think for half an hour of that first half, the shift was almost trying to keep the Italians at bay. And they did put a shift in. There's no two ways about it. It's difficult, isn't it? We've got to the first final since '66. We should be proud of that. But I felt Southgate got it wrong from the start. I don't think it was the right team to go against Italians. There should have been changes before the goal. Clearly, they were dominating. They eventually that goal was coming. It was, I'm sure everyone could see it, and I think there was the need for some sort of substitutions. So proud of the side. I think the side were what they were. I'm proud of them. I think I'm just disappointed with Southgate, and I think as a group on here from our very first podcast, we can sit here and say, for me, Southgate is not the man. We've said that from day one. So many people blowing smoke up his arse all the way through the competition. And I think he's got to the last third and got it wrong. I really do. I won't touch on the penalty takers. I guess that will come up later. But so overall, we've got to a final. I'm proud of them. I think as a young team, they've done really well. I think Southgate, as we were saying in the group stages, we were quite unanimous on. We didn't feel he was the right man for the job, and I finished the tournament thinking that still. So I do think there's a lot of smoke blown up his arse, to be honest. But there is. I mean, I know what you're saying. What? They blow so much up his arse. He got a lot wrong last night. I'm sorry. No one can see he got a lot wrong last night. He really did. in my view. And that was a shame because that team deserved better. And, the Italians were the best side in the tournament, but I still think England were capable of beating them with a different system and maybe a couple of changes at the right time. The penalties is another conversation that we'll no doubt have. But yeah, I mean, look, overall we got to another final. The only thing today that really pissed me off was listening to everyone, some of these presenters on the radios. I've been driving all day and obviously had the radio on, and some of these presenters are just sort of having a dig at all the other England squads of the past, as if they were like a load of rubbish. This squad's the be all and end all. I'm sorry, but for 40 years we've heard this before. They're young, they'll learn, they'll be great for the next World Cup. How many times have we heard it? We are what we are. In my view, if we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. Be proud of what we are. We're English and we love our football and we love our team. But are they the be-all and end-all, this squad? Well, in my view, I think we've said that about numerous squads in the last 40, 50 years. And the team of 96 for me, I preferred the 96 tournament, if I'm honest. But, not taking nothing away from them young lads. I think they've done well, but I do think Southgate let us down at the end with his decision making. And the reason I say that is because he's so full of himself. He built it up, But anyway, I'll say no more. We'll talk about the penalties later on. But overall, proud of the side. There is some quality in there, Be interesting to see how they develop that now going forward.
What's your views, Dave?
I am disappointed.
Of course.
What the match itself? Just about the match. Well, obviously.
Yeah. What's your highlights about the match, Dave?
Well, perfect start. Got the goal early, which we all wanted. We were saying that last time. Go full guns blazing. Go for the jugular. Bang, got it. And like Gary just said, it was a fantastic strike. Luke Shaw was my man of the night personally, and the way he took that, he actually let it deliberately go on the half volley, didn't he?
Yeah.
I reckon if he'd have volleyed it, he might have skied it over the bar. But he's read the ball come over, let it bounce, and he's done the half volley, and that was a superb finish. But for some reason, we just didn't carry on afterwards. We didn't keep it up. We didn't go for the kill. And I think, other lads have said, Southgate might have just messed up with some tactics there, and why didn't bring any subs on when we much needed them, and waited till bloody extra time to bring Grealish on.
9 minutes.
Mancini, typical, is the man, isn't he? He's a great manager. I wouldn't mind him as an ex-England manager, to be honest with you. But Mancini, right, he's bringing on subs in nice little, regular sort of intervals without disrupting play too much, and without. But it was all a bit shambolic last night, if I'm going to be honest with you. And we'll talk about the penalties later as well. Yeah, that was just, I don't know what happened there. I have no idea. But the actual match, the highlights for me were the opening goal, full of excitement. The crowd got behind the team. Yes, this is it. And then, well, I don't know what happened.
There's all that fuck all that day, didn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, just went to pot. Shite, to be honest with you.
Do you think the turning point, though, Dave, was when they took Trippier off? Because he was doing well down there, right, wasn't it?
Possibly, yeah.
And then it just unbalanced the side, didn't it?
I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened there. I think there was bottle jobs going on all round. Yeah. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's what it did. I think Southgate lost his bottle.
Do you think he should go now then, Dave?
He didn't want to go.
Do you think he should go?
Yes, I do. I think so, yeah. I think we should try something new now. Yeah. Because we've got the squad. And we need a good manager to get the best out of that squad and know how to utilise substitutions and read the game a bit better. Yeah,
He'll be there. They want him there till 2024, don't they?
Yeah,
he's definitely going to be there for the World Cup. Definitely.
You know what? Sorry to cut in. I had a funny question asked to me by one of the lads at work. Is one of the Donegal boys is Irish, right? Funny. This might make you chuckle. It might not. He goes, are you going to be in the Euros next time? I goes, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, you're out of the EU now, aren't you? I goes, do you know what? I said, that's actually That's a decent question, but it's nothing to do with that. Goes, it's actually there's a lot of teams not in the EU, like
Russia,
Finland and Switzerland and that. But it made me chuckle. I said, "Yeah, you got a valid point there." To be honest with you, I was chuckling on that.
But I did pick up on some of the haters in Europe. Actually picking up on the fact that you know, it's all been lined up for England and this shouldn't be happening. They've left the EU. I've seen like some of the foreign press giving it bollocks.
Yeah, no, it's disappointing for all of us. But then some people take it personally. Though when they go like on the BBC this morning, they were sort of like gloating that we'd lost the BBC. I don't know if you get the BBC out there, Dave, but they were gloating breakfast time. It was like, oh, they lost. And when they go to shoots where they have a pub or a restaurant or one of these big open air things for the England fans, you see geezers crying. I think, for fuck's sake, what are you crying about? Why are you crying? They're proper fucking idiots. They probably have never been to a football match in their life.
I'm proud in that stadium hadn't been to football before.
Well, fucking Kate Moss. What's fucking Kate Moss doing there? And Tom Cruise.
Oh, Tom
Cruise.
They
were guests of UEFA. What's that about? And they're talking about fans bunking in, they're out of order. And yet you've got Tom Cruise, Kate Moss, fucking Saddam Hussein, any fucker who's Bin Laden.
Lord Lucan.
I must say one thing on that, the fans getting in the ground. Now, I've seen that before. I've seen it in the old Wembley happen no end of times against Holland that year when it was all mayhem at Wembley. And I've seen it before. Yeah, that was brilliant that night. But anyway, I mean, I've seen that all before. But what I can't abide is them fans that were inside. I appreciate. I've got I paid £100 the ticket. You bastards can't come in. But you don't start kicking these lads round on the floor. You know, they weren't lads who were coming through there. They was all like div geezers. You know what I mean? There wasn't lads coming through, but kicking them round on the floor.
I've heard that they were old Bill, not real. They weren't fellow England fans. There was old Bill there as added security. That's what I'd heard today off of people who were there. Them young kids who broke in, fair play to them, right? The security should, as me and Dave were saying earlier, wouldn't happen at any London ground. No. You couldn't go anywhere in this country and bump in en masse. Yeah. But the old Bill were very weak. The security was weak. And I did hear from people who were there that they were plainclothes old Bill who were hitting and whacking. Well, if they weren't and they were normal fans, what the fuck are they doing that for to other England fans? Because they got in. Yeah. You know, if someone jibs in, fair play to them. They ain't hurting anybody. Yeah. That's my view anyway. But no, I just think it's a bit scandalous. Other fans attacking other fans because they got into nothing. There you go. But
it might all be a setup, to be honest with you. You know, the old set all sorts. You know, you don't know.
A lot of things that happened yesterday. Forget the team for the moment, but what was looking like a successful tournament for England went very sour yesterday, and a lot of that was down to poor management of the infrastructure at Wembley, because there was a lot of trouble outside. There was a lot of incidents where fans were steaming the police to get through. Not just what we've seen on footage, it's other areas outside. It was all that, and all this is going to go against us ever getting the World Cup. You know, makes you wonder how much of it is set up. Like you said, set things up, mate. There are agendas out there. And a lot of what happened yesterday has not been very good for England as a footballing nation for wanting future. You know, you do wonder.
Mate, the commentary, again, picking up on that, I think that Jermaine Genius should never commentate on the game. Because the way he talks as if he was fucking Pelly or someone. You know, he talks utter bollocks sometimes. You know, the way he sort of summarises players. And, you know, what I would have done, we need to do this. I'm thinking you was a mediocre player.
It was nothing.
It was nothing special. And he's talking like he's fucking Pelé or fucking Ronaldo or something.
Yeah.
You know, and I just think it's so negative that even the commentators don't want us to win. You know what I mean? I mean, you could see Ferdinand, Lampard and all them, Lineker and all them, all jumping for joy when we scored. They love the team. They love the England team, regardless whether you like the Nickel and co. But they are very patriotic for the team. But you get someone like Jermaine Genius, as I say, never been that much of a player.
Yeah.
Didn't the comment. I don't know if the commentary was any better on the other side, or was it? What was that like?
Look, I always love Ian Wright. You're not going to get he was singing every. Oh, mate, he was great. You had Frank Lampard, wasn't it?
Roy Keane was there.
Roy Keane was there, and to be fair, we can touch on something. I thought Roy was on the money. He was very pissed off about certain elements of that penalty shootout. Not happy at all, which we can touch on when we decide to talk about that.
Well,
but yeah, it was good. ITV one. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I thought it was a great game of football. I loved it.
But no, I do like Ian Wright. I love him. He personifies everything that we're about, doesn't he? He's giving that over the finger.
Well, he's an ex-player who's a fan, isn't he? You know.
He is. I remember when we played. I can't remember what one was it. The World Cup in France. And I remember him doing a commentary with a St George cross tied all over his back and all that. Brilliant. That's why I watched that one, because I just like him.
Yeah, he's one of your own, isn't he? Ian Wright.
And Roy Keane brings an element of realism to it all, and he did last night.
No, he's very honest with his opinions, isn't he, Roy Keane? I know he does
very angry.
No, he does get angry and annoyed, doesn't he? But he was a great player, and he's a good pundit as well. I think.
He is.
No, he says it how it is, so there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, it's Gary Neville, wasn't it?
That's it, Gary.
I like Gary Neville.
Neville.
He's honest as well, isn't he? A lot of people didn't like Neville as a player, but as a pundit and a commentator, I think he's very good. He's very honest, very
clued up.
He believes in what he says. No, that's good. Where's Matty?
What about the penalty takers then?
He's sitting there lapping it all up.
Well, here he is. Hold up. Where you been?
Frozen,
My screen is frozen. Can you hear me? My screen is frozen. I've not paid the bill again.
What's his name?
Yeah, you can still hear me.
Oh, no, leave off.
So what about the penalty takers then? What was, the choices were a bit strange, weren't they? As you said, Gary, the choices is down to management, down to Southgate completely. The two lads that he brought on hardly had a kick of the ball.
My opinion on it, the difficult thing you've got at the moment is because of disgusting race abuse that the three black lads have had who missed the penalties, you're sort of finding everyone's not standing up and saying for what it really was. So if we take the racing away, which is an absolute
totally agree.
It's an absolute disgrace, and they should fucking sort this out, because it's keyboard warriors sat at their computers at home, who half of them are probably agitated, just want to wind every fucker up. But the authorities need to deal with this social media bollocks. They really do.
Yeah.
We're getting hard with that brush, and it ain't right. Anyway, that said, we need to talk honestly about them penalties. And all the waffle we get off of Southgate and the England setup, not just Southgate, but the whole, they've done this, they've looked at this, they've studied this, they've studied every player's penalty taken for the last 100 years and all this. So all this, and they don't do that. And for me, it just makes a whole mockery. And one of the reasons why I don't like Southgate, it makes a total mockery of what they've been telling us, because he brought on two of them lads who hadn't even played in the game. Didn't probably. I think Rashford got a throw in to do, and that was about it. But I will say it was the wrong penalty takers. But I do think Rashford deserves a good kick in the bollocks for that penalty. I'm sorry.
More than that,
mate. That, I mean, all three of them were jigging around like they were on Riverdance.
Yeah.
I mean, disappointing. And that again comes back down to the England setup, where if they've chose these guys who, quite frankly, I felt sorry for the younger one, They've chose these guys, and fair play for standing up and taking them. I ain't knocking them for anything like that. But they must see in the England camp how they take these penalties, because they now all done it on technical knowledge and all this investigation. And they go and watch Rashford take the penalty the way he did. It just don't make. I mean, Rashford does deserve a kick.
I thought for a final, the way Rashford. I'll start with Rashford. The way for a start, why bring him on to take a penalty? He ain't had a good year at Man United. He's had a mediocre season, a shit season, in fact. They bring him on. He takes a penalty in a final at Wembley in front of all them fans, and he fucks about showboating. That's what he was doing. And missed.
Yeah.
He's made himself look a right fucking dick, and that's what he is. Yeah. The other one, Sancho, just joined Man United. He's going to be his teammate for 90 million.
Yeah.
He tries to side foot a 6'6" goalkeeper with no power, save. The young boy Sacco, he was a lamb of the side. If he'd have missed it, he'd have scored. But I just felt so sorry. The other two ain't worth a wank, in my opinion. But the young Sacco is a talented kid. And to prime it, I mean, you had Henderson, you had Shaw, you had Stones, you had Sterling. You could Grealish. Any of them could have took a penalty and scored. But what the fuck was Rashford doing, showboating in a big international final? He should never play for England again. He's a fucking wanker. Nothing to do with his colour. He's a wanker.
No, we've got that bad boy out of the way. This is an honest discussion about what was one of the most embarrassing penalty shootouts I've ever seen.
100%.
Yeah, you're right.
It was embarrassing.
It was embarrassing. It was an absolute embarrassment. Right, yes, it was.
And I put a lot of that down. Yes, Rashford with his showboat and play again. But at the end of the day, you know, again, Grealish has already texted today. I wanted to take the penalty. That's what he said today.
Oh, he's actually.
They're all getting criticised now. Roy shootout.
He did.
Oh, that's shame, man.
And he made a couple of good saves in the game as well. Yeah. Pickford stood up and he was counted in my view.
Gary and Martin, to be honest, you know, they went ahead on the penalties because we missed 2 in a row. And then if they'd have scored their last one, we was out. They'd have won it.
Yes.
And then Pickford made that absolutely stunner of a save. And then I thought, yes. All we got to do is bang the next one, and then we could win this.
Yeah. And
that was when, your man, the young, what's his name? The very lame penalty. But you think, you're right, the show. But Rashford, I think he has put the spook, he shit everyone up with that penalty. You know the way he done it, showboating and it was crap. After that, don't you think everyone freaked out a little bit? Yeah. Do you think?
I think you're right. I think, especially that young lad, all the pressure had gone on his shoulders because of what Rashford had done overly. And the next fella on, and, you know.
Gary, you just said something. I don't know how true it is, or is it fact or what? Do the players put their names up, or does Southgate pick who takes them?
No, you're right, because... Right, so a lot of the senior players have come under a lot of criticism. Roy Keane was fucking spitting nails last night, mate, about Sterling not stepping up and other people not stepping up, letting them young people step up. Yeah. Well, today, from what I'm hearing on the radio and everything else, Grealish has done a text today saying, I wanted to take it. But like his whole tournament, he ain't been allowed to do that.
But that's what I'm saying. So who decides, the players or the management?
It must be Southgate.
Yeah. So did you hear the commentary? Yeah. You know, when what's his name come on? I can't remember who it was that came on, and the commentator said Southgate's given him a bit of paper, and he's put it down his sock.
That's it.
As he came on. Was that the penalty takers on that bit of paper? Or was it just instructions of what the tactics were going to be to see in that game?
That was Henderson who came on. Was it Henderson who came on and he gave the bit?
I think it might have been Henderson, but he said, he's got a bit of paper and he's put it in his pocket. Southgate's given him a piece of paper. Was it instructions? Or my immediate reaction was, that's probably the penalty takers on that bit of paper.
Well, Southgate definitely brought on them two in the last 2 minutes to purely take a penalty.
Yeah.
100%. There was no other reason to bring them on, other than that penalty.
And that was utter trash, ain't it?
I mean, and it's
mind blowing.
It's such a shame as well because when Pickford made that save, mate, we should have won it.
Yeah, definitely.
Should have won.
Yeah,
What a wonderful save at the right time. With the right penalty takers, we would have won that because Italy weren't very good at their penalties at all. Italy for the taking on penalties, and we really let ourselves down. And yet we can blame the three players for poor penalties. Rashford just absolute blame for the showboating. That was ridiculous. But overall, the England camp, the setup, Southgate or whoever's pulling in strings, are the people that actually created that to go wrong. My anger is with Southgate and the management, not. Yes, with Rashford, I think what a twat. But the other two, I felt a little bit sorry for them because I think it was more down to the management on the night, and I think the management let us down.
Yeah. Well, he let his own players down, didn't he? Making that decision who's going to take them, didn't he?
Yeah.
He let the team down.
This show's the only show that's giving people a reality check here because they're all like living in fucking dreamland.
Yeah.
I think
it was that is one of the worst. I've never felt so disappointed, to be honest, after that. About England, but that was it. That was it. That was the one. So we should have won. We should have won. Man.
Oh, it was there for the taking, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely, man. The Italians' head went down after that goal, didn't they? Their heads went right down, and that was it. We should have seen it through there.
In my view, he didn't play the right system. Again, extremely defensive to actually beat the Italians at their own game. In actual fact, he played a system that let them come on to us. And if there's one team, you don't want them coming on.
Italians. Yeah.
And I'm going to make a call there.
After 15 minutes, that's exactly what's going on. Sorry, Dave.
Yeah. My call is Mancini for the next job, next England manager.
Good shout. Yeah.
That's the man.
Yeah. The man. Or I would go for someone who's played for England, loves England, David Beckham.
Wow.
I would go for Beckham.
Do you think he's got the tactical nous, though, Martin?
Yeah, he's worked under one of the best managers ever, Alex Ferguson. He's played
Gary Neville.
Fuck Gary Neville. He's useless, isn't he? He proved that at Valencia. Great pundit, but he ain't a good football coach or manager.
You're right.
But Beckham has played for England. The fans love him. He's played under the best. He's played at Real Madrid. He's played at Man United. He's got all the experience. He's very calm. He's probably got the knowledge. Give him a chance. He can't be worse than Southgate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What was Southgate, before he became England manager, what had he ever done, Southgate? Middlesbrough? Fucked up there, didn't he? Wherever he's been, he's never been a success. He's always been the nearly man, doing anything. So I would say, go, that's a good shout, Mancini, but would we want to go for a foreign manager again, Dave?
I think that's our only option. Not ideally, you wouldn't, no, but if you want to win something, then I think he's got a track record, Mancini. And look what he did last night. He done the business for Italy.
As you and Gary said, he knew when he needed when someone was getting tired or running out of gas. He knew, like you said and Gary said, he knew the right times to make a substitution. That's good football intelligence and knowledge. Yeah. He knew.
Clued up. So he's very clued up.
He's clued up, as we say. Southgate didn't he? He was, you know, I don't know what he's doing in the fucking job. You know, honestly.
Up to that point, I was thinking, fair play. He's done some good tactics throughout this tournament, but yesterday he's just blown the whole thing, man.
See, our big achievement and our really final was against Germany. After that, we scraped through against Denmark. We meet a far technically superior team than the Italians. Even at club football, they've got that nous and know-how to go the extra bit, and even at like Milan and Juventus and Napoli, they've got that little bit of something, can't they, about them? A little bit of arrogance, a little bit of they're fearless, and the same as their national team. You can't ever underestimate the Italians in any competition. Usually slow starters and build up.
Just on, they obviously had some players in the squad that were quite old. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, do you think? I mean, I actually said that. You know, I think 6 of the players played in the last World Cup. So for me, England are not as inexperienced as people are saying they are. However, do you think that we lack a couple of old heads in that England side?
Who would you put in there?
Yeah, that could be right.
Who would you class as an old head, though, Gal?
Yeah, I don't know actually, but